Hello, hello, hello. What is up to all of you guys out there? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Heat Press Nation Live. My name is Jared, and I'm super excited to have you here with us today. Do me a favor, let us know where you're tuning in from. We got my buddy Chris here in the comments. What's up, Chris? Say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I'm happy to be here, Jared.
Good to have you with us. As some of you guys know from last week, Chris is my new co-host, and it's been a fun time so far. We're gonna have some more fun today, so make sure you stay tuned because we have some live demos coming up. We also have a giveaway coming up. And then what else do we have coming up? There's like a third thing. We got some handsome coming up, right? We got Chris over here. He's holding down.
Switch it back.
He's holding down the handsome. But we got a lot of good things coming your way. And today we are talking about headwear. It's all about what's up. I don't know if you guys can see my hat. Chris actually made me this hat. It's called Pressing King, kind of like Burger King. Pressing King. I felt honored, so I got to wear it today. And yeah, Chris, tell us who's tuning in today. Who do you got to say hi to?
Yeah, so we have Donna V from Whitestone, Queens, New York City.
What's up, Donna?
All the way from the East Coast. We have, so that was Donna. We have Alicia Miguel from Las Vegas.
Ooh, Vegas in the house. Put 20 on red for me, please.
We have Heather from Central Florida.
What's up, Heather? Heather, who else?
How's it going, Heather?
Are we international yet today?
International.
Nah, not yet. It's cool.
We have Luis from Stockton. Is that?
That's California.
Oh, I thought that was like Ireland or something.
We were almost international, almost.
Okay, we have Kelly from Puerto Rico.
That's half, right? Because they're still part of the U.S., kind of.
But
they're their own thing,
still
though.
a territory, but
They have their own president, so I'll count that as international.
Okay.
There we go. They have their own president.
And then we have Johnny all the way from Chicago.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
Chi-town.
yeah.
All right. Well, man, thank you guys so much all for joining us. If you have any questions about anything that we're going to be talking about today, my boy Chris is here in the comments. And actually, Chris is going to talk to us about some of the transfers that we're going to be using today for our hats. So Chris, take it away, man. What are we working with?
Yeah, of course. So today we have Super Color, and then we also have the regular Caesar Easy Weed HTV.
Nice.
And they're going to be transferred onto, we have snapbacks, we have Puma Gesto caps, and then we also have dad hats, as you can see right over here.
Yeah, I love it. Let me see, can you show off that red? Is that dad hat on the far end? What is that over there?
Yeah, of course. This is a dad hat, and it's made with Super Color, as you can see.
That looks really cool. I might take that one home after. Put that one to the side for me.
I'll tuck it over here.
Tuck it away. Tuck it away.
Yeah.
Dude, that is super cool. Now, one thing I absolutely love about hats is that they are such a good complementary product for your t-shirt press. If you have a vinyl cutter, guess what? Those same vinyl transfers that you make, you could put those onto hats. If you're ordering Super Color, that's awesome. All you're gonna do is just order a smaller headwear transfer, and boom, you could be transferring onto hats. The only thing you're gonna need that's different or extra is gonna be a hat press. Now, I do have probably my favorite hat press on the market right now. I have the Signature Series. I was about to say 16 by 20. No, that's my t-shirt press. I have the Signature Series Auto Open Cap Press on deck. Now, you'll notice we have a little funny thing here. We have some foam on the bottom plate. Now, this foam, we're gonna use this for a couple of things today. As Chris mentioned, we have some structured snapbacks. We have some unstructured hats, which I don't think we're gonna show the unstructured just because they're so easy to press. We wanna show off really what these machines can do. But this foam is also great for using foam trucker hats, which we are gonna be showing off today. The bottom platen, we're using the standard size platen. I forget what the dimensions are on that, but there are a total of 4 different lower platens that come included with this press. So this press right now, $749.95. It does ship free to the lower 48 states. And I love it because it's an auto open. That means when you lower the handle, the pressure's a little loose. We had another hat in there. Basically, when the timer reaches 0, it's gonna open up on its own. Don't worry, you'll see the auto open in action right now. We have the pressure set kind of loose for another project that we were working on. But yeah, Signature Series Auto Open Cap Press, ready to rock and roll. Now, let's go over, Chris, can you show them what other hat presses we have on stage really quick? I just wanna show off, so on the right of your screen, we see the Hotronix Fusion IQ. model that for us. Look at that. Chris, he was meant to be on The Price is Right, but then we hired him over here. And then also on Chris's right, your left, Black Series. Now this is kind of more of an entry level cap press. I love it for dad hats, like the unstructured cotton. All right. Unstructured cotton caps. But yeah, so we're gonna use our signature series today to show off how to use these different transfers. If you guys have any questions, again, Chris has our comments on the iPad there. We got any questions coming in yet, or any fun comments?
Not yet so far, Jared.
Everybody's just paying attention, huh?
Yeah.
All right, real quick, before I let you guys, before we move into the next step, I do want to let you guys know to text. You're gonna want to text to join our. Why can't I say this? Text notifications. There we go. You're gonna text the word HEAT to 31592. Now you might be asking, why on earth would I even do that? You guys, every time we have a sale, special promotion, special event coming up, we want to let you guys know. And we also send out special discounts as well. You can text the word HEAT to 31592. And then, okay, absolute last thing, you guys know how we do it. Every week we run a flash sale. That's right. So right now you can get, and I got to double check it, 10% off of all HPN brand hat presses with the code HATS. So you see right up here on the top right of your screen, you see that code HATS, H-A-T-S? That's gonna be the code. That's gonna get you 10% off of this heat press. So for the Signature Series Auto Open Cap Press, that's $75 off this machine. All you gotta do is place your order while we're still live. All right, Chris, I'm gonna let's do dealer's choice. Which hat press are we starting off with today?
Tiny. Let's start with foam adjustable.
Let's do it. Yes. So, and which transfer? I feel like it's like roulette here. Like you could pick your hat, pick your transfer. What are we putting on this bad boy?
All right. So we did do an example before. So we're going to do the Customizing Culture, which is our new podcast.
Oh, yes. Oh, and by the way, big shout out to our new podcast. If you haven't checked it out yet, we're on Spotify. We're on all the major platforms. And then we're also on YouTube. But Chris is going to send me over. Here we go. All right, let's have a gander over here. Now, when we're pressing caps, there's a few things you want to do before you heat up your press. Now, I already adjusted for pressure. But before you heat up your press, you want to test your pressure. Now, this is a foam trucker cap, and that's why. Foam is typically very sensitive to heat. So that's why we would test it before. Now, I've already tested it. So when you're pressing a hat, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pull out that sweatband, right? You see how it's usually in? We're gonna pull out that sweatband, and I'm gonna place it front first like this to make sure that the sweatband is on. We're gonna bring it around. Right, and usually I do this faster, but whenever I'm on camera, I just mess up more. All right, now on the right here, you can kind of see it. There's a little clamp. I'm gonna lower that, and you can kind of see it right there at the bottom of your screen. This clamp is gonna catch the inside of the hat, and what that's gonna do, it's gonna hold the hat in place. Every good hat press should have a functional hat clamp. So I'm gonna position my hat, I'm gonna make sure it's centered. Really quick, before I even press anything, I wanna make sure that my hat is in the imprint area. So I'm just gonna reposition here. And I'm gonna test it. Now you'll see, now with the hat on there, now you see the auto open function is working. So without the hat on there, there wasn't enough pressure to kind of trigger that pop, but now there is. Now here's a little trick that I do with pretty much all of my hat transfers. I'm gonna get a little bit of heat tape. Gonna put some on the left of my hat transfer. Gonna put some, it'll cooperate. Gonna put some on the right. And so now my transfer has wings. Customizing culture, you see that puppy? Now what those wings do is they make it really easy for me to move. I could position my transfer wherever I want it. They're gonna make it really easy for me to move the transfer. Another reason why I put the wings on there, and let me take them off to show you, is let's just say I have my transfer here. What happens is oftentimes under the warmth, it'll curl up, and you see that, what I don't want it to do is I don't want it to move at all when I'm heat pressing it. So because I have little heat tape wings on either side, that's gonna hold my transfer down. It's gonna help me position it. And honestly, like, this is one step that I just don't ever compromise. I always have little wings, little heat tape wings on there. I always press it like that. So now we're using Caesar Easy Weed. Typically presses at 305 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds. Now, here's something interesting about heat pressing hats, all right? Typically, when you're pressing Easy Weed or any vinyl on t-shirts, you're gonna be mashing the living heck out of it, right? You want that like heavy, you want that firm pressure, and that's because you want the vinyl and the adhesive to really get embedded into the fabric, because t-shirts get washed and washed and washed and washed and washed. So you want that to hold up. The cool thing about hats is hats do not go into a regular laundry cycle. Hats are spot cleaned or very delicately hand washed. So this transfer isn't gonna see the abuse that we see on a t-shirt transfer. Because of that, I don't have to press the living heck out of it. I can give it just a nice medium to medium light pressure, and I don't have to go the full 15 seconds. I'm actually gonna press this one for about 8 seconds. And this isn't gonna compromise the quality of the transfer. It's gonna be very permanent, very awesome. If you're concerned, go for the full 10. I'm not gonna stop you. But this is just how I handle my hats. All right, so everything's nice and centered. Let me take a look at it. Looks good to me. Now I'm gonna press it. Now, you do have the option when heat pressing, you could use either a pro-grade non-stick sheet or some parchment paper. Now, you don't need a ton of parchment paper. The one thing I will tell you though is if you are gonna use a cover sheet, you very likely will have to hold it in place with one hand while you press with the other. So just be very, very careful for the hand that's holding it down. There we go. All right, press is on. Now this is the Signature Series Auto Open Hat Press. So look, no hands, and just like that, huh? Very nice, very smooth action. Now this is Caesar Easy Weed, so you know I could peel it hot or cold. So I'm gonna give it a nice warm peel. And that looks beautiful. Now sometimes what you may notice with the foam trucker hat, a little dusty there. With the foam truckers, you might notice that there's a little imprint from the tape or from the plastic, transfer carrier sheet. So if you are seeing that, no worries. All you gotta do, just drop the parchment back in and repress it for about, you could go the full 8 seconds again. Me personally, I'm gonna stop it right at about 6 seconds. By the way, I don't know if you saw what I just did. On the back of the press, there's a big red button. We call that the emergency release. If you ever are pre-pressing or you want the press to open before the timer reaches 0, you just hit that button and you're good. And so now we have a nice smooth transfer. One more thing, I almost messed up right here. Interesting thing about the foam. So this foam on most trucker caps is gonna be very heat sensitive. Now remember, we clamped the hat in place. So there's a little bit of tension on the crown. The crown, of course, is the forehead part of this hat right here. So because of that tension, and because it's heat sensitive and it's warm right now because it just got pressed, if we were to release the clamp, release that tension, then the hat crown would kind of stretch back down very slightly. But that's gonna cause a wrinkly effect. So if you're doing foam truckers and you notice that you're pulling them off immediately and they're getting this weird wrinkly texture, you're probably pulling the hat off the press a little too soon. You can let your hat hang out for about 30 seconds. That should give it enough time to kind of, cool down a little bit, and then you could release the tension on the clamp, pull the hat off, and there we go. That's a dope hat. Chris, why don't you show this puppy off for us here? Show the people, Christopher.
Right over there.
Dang. What do you think?
Beautiful.
How does it look and feel to you?
It feels, you can't feel the dent. There's no dent, like you said, you fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
The vinyl actually feels really good, very sturdy and stuck on there.
Because you've had hats before.
I have.
Like if you saw this on the rack at a store, would you think that someone made it in their bedroom? in their home?
I would not. I'd pay a good 25, 30 bucks for this hat, maybe even 35.
It's a dope hat, right?
It's a great hat, actually.
Yeah, and all in on materials on that hat, we're probably coming in under $6, I want to say, right?
Exactly. The blanks are super cheap.
Yeah. So if you're buying wholesale blanks, you're getting that hat. I don't have the exact model of that hat on hand. Do you remember what it is by chance?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, we didn't order these ones. They ordered them for us this time. But I know for a fact that it for sure came in under $6. And then in vinyl, that's such a small piece of vinyl. Honestly, if I don't even think that's a quarter's worth of vinyl right there. So we're for sure under $6 on that hat. And the cool thing about hats is you could charge just as much as you would for a t-shirt, sometimes more depending on the hat. Like me, I'm spending about 25, 30 bucks on a t-shirt, and I'm spending 25, 30 bucks on a hat, especially if it's from a brand that I like, from a brand that I want to represent. So, if you're doing this, if you're offering hats to your customers, obviously you want to give them a little bit of margin. Like if they're going to charge their customers 30 for the hat, you'll probably charge them anywhere from like 10 to 16, depending on quantity. Obviously, the more they order, the more of a discount you'll give them. If you have a customer that just wants one or two, I don't know, charge them like 8. You could, for one single hat, a custom hat, you could charge up to 30 bucks. And here's why. If somebody comes to you and they want one single custom hat, think about it. That's a very unique product. So let's say I go to Walmart, right? Or I go to Target, I go to whatever, my local skate shop, right? I see a cool hat. I go to the Vans store because I love Vans, right? I'm always wearing Vans. I go to the Vans store and I see a cool Vans hat, 30 bucks minimum, 35 if it's a nicer hat, right? Now think about it. That's a mass-produced hat. I could buy that hat, but I'm gonna have the same hat as tens of thousands of other people across the country. Now, if I get a custom hat like this Pressing King hat, how many other people have this hat? 0. Because Chris made this hat with Caesar brick. He used multiple layers. He used a really cool, I'm gonna get up to, what camera let me go up to the demo camera, right? I'm gonna take this off. Part of my ugly hair, check this out, right? Look at this hat. There we are. I don't know if you can see the dimension on this. This is Caesar brick. This is probably one of the dopest hats I've seen in a long time. Really cool graphic, and it's one of a kind. So if I'm paying 35 bucks for a mass-produced hat at the Vans store, at the Nike store, then how much more am I gonna be paying, pardon my ugly hair, ladies and gentlemen, but how much more am I gonna be paying for a single custom hat? So your pricing, you have a lot of room to be pricing, especially for your single custom hats. By the way, if you have any questions at all, do me a favor, drop it in the comments. We got Chris over here manning the comment station. Anything, if you want to know more about the heat press, if you want to know about our process, go ahead, drop those in the comments. We got anything?
Yeah, so Melissa Davenport is asking, can you use patches to add to the hats with this cap press?
Yes, you definitely can. Now, here's the only thing I will say about patches. You're going to want to double check with the patch manufacturer that the patch can be applied with the heat from on top. There are some patches that you have to apply with the heat from behind the fabric. So if you did it on this press, here's what it would look like. Now, I hope I don't mess this up too bad. Right? Come on. Hold on. Sorry. I'm afraid to cut myself.
Careful, chair.
Also, this is not a good knife. There we go. All right. You see this? Oh no. Jeez Louise. All right. There we go. All right. So you see this pad, right? If your patches have to be applied with the heat from below, all you're gonna do is you're gonna set your timer to 60 seconds and you're just gonna heat your lower pad. Obviously you want more pressure than this, but set your timer to about 60 seconds, preheat your lower platen, and there you go. You're gonna be heating that hat from behind. So double check with your patch manufacturer first. What's funny is preheating the lower platen, that's literally the first video I ever did with HP, and that was about almost 7 years ago. So yeah, I did a video showing how to preheat the lower platen to heat your hats from behind. Now, another option you have is sitting right over there next to my buddy Chris. This is the Stahl's 360 IQ. This has a heated lower platen. So, if you're doing a lot of patches that require bottom heat, probably want to invest in a heat press with the bottom heat. Great question. Any other questions we got?
Yeah, so Alicia Miguel is wondering, how do you know if the pressure is right?
That is a great question. How do you know? The only way you can know 100% is to test it. And that means press it, wash it, wear it. I'm gonna grab this really quick. I'm gonna come back to this camera here. Now, typically on hats, there we go, nice. So typically you could see the fibers through the hat on the vinyl. If you look really, really close, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera here. Now, the exception is gonna be foam truckers because the material is so smooth, you're not gonna see that. Can you hand me that red cap again?
Yeah, of course.
So this material right here is a little bit more textured. Let's get in focus, get in. Now, you're probably not gonna see it on camera here. Shade it a little bit. But because this has, it's not quite a twill, but it has almost a twill weave. On the vinyl, I can actually see the weave of the material through the vinyl. So if you're working with a hat like that, where it has a texture to the material, if you can see it through your transfer, that's how you know you got good pressure. That's another trick that we use for t-shirts as well. Now that's not gonna work for foam truckers, but I will say this, the pressure requirements for hats are gonna be a little bit more forgiving than the pressure requirements for t-shirts. And again, that's because we don't put hats through a laundry cycle. Hats are just hand washed or just spot cleaned. We don't put hats in the washing machine like we do t-shirts. Because of that, if you are accidentally a little too light on the pressure on your hat, as long as the vinyl doesn't peel up when you peel it, as long as the vinyl doesn't come up, you should be good to go. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so man, I'm glad we have two of these, 'cause I think I want this hat too.
Me too.
Okay, cool.
We'll make more.
We could each have one. Oops. There we go. Do we got any other questions from the homies, from our viewers, our friends?
We do. Tamara is asking, in relative to this hat, I believe.
Nice.
She says, how about the hats with the seam in the middle? Is that more difficult?
Ooh.
Is it possible to do?
Yes, it's very possible to do. In fact, this hat has a seam in the middle. So I'm gonna take it off and we're gonna go back to the close-up cam. So heads up on that. So now this hat, again, Chris used Caesar brick, which is a very thick vinyl. So as you can see here, it was able to bridge, we call it bridging the seam. The seam runs right here. You could use a thicker vinyl like this, and the seam will be no problem at all. Now here's the cool thing about Supercolor Headwear is that's why you don't use the Supercolor t-shirt transfers for your hats, by the way. Supercolor Headwear is designed to be thick enough to bridge the seam. So they knew that was gonna be an issue, and so they made this transfer thick enough to bridge that seam. There should not be any issue when you're using a Supercolor Headwear transfer. Now, me personally, I have used, and I'm gonna come back over here now. Me personally, I have used regular Caesar vinyl on a dad hat very similar to this. And after about 2 years, I noticed right where the seam is, that part did crack. Again, after about 2 years, and just to test it, I threw that hat in the wash about once every 2 months or so. So it had, at least 7 to 10 washes, which again, hats, you don't really wash hats, right? So vinyl, that one, regular Easy Weed, did crack on the seam after about 2 years. And that's I wore that hat all the time. So now one thing you don't wanna do is you don't wanna have very thin graphic elements over the seam. If you're gonna bridge the seam, you're gonna wanna have a solid piece of graphic on there. You don't want thin little wispy lines. You don't want tiny text to be bridging the seam. You only want solid graphic elements to be on the seam. Now, one more thing I do wanna say, and we have a video on this, is another trick that I like to do, which we're not gonna show today, but for graphics where I need to bridge the seam, but I have like fine details, what I'll do is I'll add a base layer of a thick vinyl, like Strip Flock Pro, make a base layer, and then over that, I'll layer my very fine detailed graphics. That's gonna do two things. The thick layer, the base layer, will bridge the seam, and then the top layer is where I'm gonna get all my fine detail. Now, Not only does it solve the seam issue, but it looks super, super cool when you layer regular vinyl on top of something like Strip Flock Pro. If you haven't done that yet, I'd highly, highly recommend it. Alrighty. Any other questions? We have another demo here. So were we good? We got questions?
We'll just do one more question.
Yeah.
Or how about two more?
Let's do two more. I love it.
For the HPN Signature Series cap and label combo heat press, what makes it a label press and separates it from the HPN Signature press?
That is a great question. So if you're looking on our website and you see a label or a cap and label combo, that means that it has interchangeable platens. So all that means is that this press right here, this is not a cap and label combo. This press has only one element. It has the curved one for the hats, curved plate for the hats. If the cap label combo, this part, you see how it kind of pulls off? Well, on those presses, there is a completely flat element that goes in on there. And that flat element is perfect for labels, like neck labels, sleeve labels, etc. Now, I will say this. I have not had a problem putting my neck labels and sleeve labels using a cap press. So I'm not saying that that's not important to have the flat label press. That is the ideal setup if you're pressing your neck labels or sleeves. However, in a pinch, you can still use your cap machine to apply neck and sleeve labels. The reason why you would want separate presses is I don't want to pause production on my cap press so I could do my neck labels. If you want to maximize your production, you're going to have separate presses for each process. All right, you said we had one more question?
Yeah, last one.
Let's do it.
Well, I'll combine both these.
Okay.
So can you press on a bucket hat, being the first part of the question, and the second part of the question, can we press on the back of the trucker hat, this mesh material right over here? So, first question, if you could fit it, you could press it. Have we pressed a bucket hat here? I personally have not. No, okay, so we gotta order some bucket hats and we'll tell you. I don't see why not. Personally, I know what bucket hats are. I'm not dumb. No, I've seen bucket hats. I'm pretty sure we could fit it onto this press. And as long as you could fit it on the press, you could press it. Now, as for can you press the back of the trucker hat? No, because that's plastic. So first of all, the mesh, there's really nowhere for that vinyl to grab onto. But second of all, that mesh is plastic. It's not gonna work. It's gonna melt. So for those trucker, now for the other hats, we have videos where we show you how to press the front, the temple, and then right over the snap, which would be this part right here. So we've done all that on camera. We have tutorial videos. I don't have any samples to, actually no, can I? I can. Let's do it. Should we do it? Let's do it. All right, hand me that white trucker. Right over here. Sorry, not the dead hat. Yeah. And then let's show the people. All right, so let's bring this over here really quick. So if you have a hat like this where it's cloth all around, you can do whatever you want. If you could fit it on the press, you can press it. So a few considerations. Now, because this is so small, this fits in the area of the sweatband. If I was pressing something larger on the temple, then I would want to pull the sweatband down. And that could present a little bit of a problem right here. So you're just going to want to be considerate of what you're pressing, right? Can you fit it on there? That's the big question. So even more than is the material compatible, blah this, blah that is, can I actually fit it on there? So I'm going to leave the sweatband up. I'm going to press right here. Now, I am going to have to adjust my pressure a little bit because remember, I pulled off that foam, right? So here, let's just do this so much faster, right? There we go. That's the cheater's way to press it really, really fast. I'm going to do a test really quick, make sure my pressure's right. Ooh, that's a little heavy. Okay. My bad. I went too far. Did that help? No, that only made it worse. Okay, hold on. It's inverted, so I'm trying to... in real time, figure out in my head the whole righty-tighty, lefty, that's gonna work. That'll work. Okay, so now in this case, the clamp is probably not gonna be, oh, you know what, that actually does help. I gotta clean my press. All right, so right here, you would just position it wherever you want to. I'm definitely gonna use my heat tape. I'm gonna position it
That looks good to me. And then my press is a little dirty at the moment, so I'm just gonna cover this. I don't wanna stain my cap press. Now, another thing that you're seeing over here is the bill is getting impacted by the heating element. So again, be mindful of all your positioning when you're doing this, but like this, come on, there we go. So it's that easy. So I mean, that's what we mean, like if you could fit it, you could press it. So now we have a temple imprint on this hat. Oh, see, look, there's some dust. I don't know if you could see it on there. I got this a little dirty, my bad. But it wipes right off, it's just dust. And so now on the front, I could put pretty much whatever the heck I want. So for this one, we're gonna show off one of our super color transfers now. I'm gonna position this hat, there we go. And we're gonna show you how it's gonna bridge the seams. So let's grab, I don't know what this even means. Oh no, we have the Orange County graphic. Let's do the HPN logo. There we go. All right. So I have my Heat Press Nation logo. Now you see how like this is just, it's gonna fly away, right? So this is definitely a case for me to add the wings. And so now I could just, I'm covering it up. So now I could just do whatever I want. I could put it wherever I want. Make sure that it's nice and centered here. Tape it down. And oh, I do want to cover it with parchment. I'm going to carefully lower that. Actually, super color requires a little bit more time. I'm just going to hold it down for like an extra second. There we go. And I think I had enough pressure for super color. We're actually about to find out. No, I didn't. So really quick, this is why you always want to check your settings before you heat press something. Cool thing about super color is as long as you don't peel it off, you can always give it another try with your correct pressure setting. There we go, there's a little bit more pressure. That should work great. And again, super color goes for like 10 seconds. There we go. And you do have to peel it like immediately. So that could also be another thing that's kind of killing me. There we go. Beautiful. Now, I know I already pressed it twice, but super color does require a repress. So now that I got my clean peel, we're gonna give it a repress. Really get it in there. So you're seeing this now. Let me explain myself. I'm pressing it 3 times. Should have only been 2, but at first my pressure wasn't high enough. So I had to give it that second press. So here we go. And again, we're using the super color headwear. So yes, it is gonna bridge that seam with no problem. And you can see right here, that's a solid little piece of area. So it's not like a thin little wispy line. The solid piece of graphic that's covering the hat. I was able to press back here. And if I had a graphic to press up here, I could even press that as well. You would just, you know, again, if you could fit it, you could press it. All right, Chris, I'm gonna hand it over to you. Show that off to the camera, and then if we have any questions, you can tell the people.
All right. Side. Looks great, Jared.
Very cool, very
really
cool.
good.
Thank you, sir. All right, do we get any questions? I don't know if our Facebook homies are commenting in. We'll see who's tuning in right now. By the way, we do have a podcast. I want to plug it, and I'm going to plug it with this hat right here. We do have a podcast. It's called Customizing Culture, and we have 2 episodes up right now. So my first episode was with none other than my new co-host, Chris. You can hear us kind of talking. He's checking comments right now. He's diligently checking the comments. But yeah, we talked about, you know, the industry. Chris, what I love is that Chris is very new to this industry. Like me, when I first started, I had never heard of a heat press before. Same thing with Chris. So he's where I was about 7 years ago. So it's really cool. We're able to talk about that in episode 1. In episode 2, a very special guest, Big Brando. I know a lot of you guys in the t-shirt space know Big Brando. So many people love him because he keeps it so real and authentic, and he was able to bring some of that authenticity over to the podcast. That's episode 2. It's live now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then also here on YouTube as well. So wherever you get your podcast, go check it out. It's called Customizing Culture, and you see it right here, Customizing Culture. Alrighty, how we doing on comments? We got anybody asking questions? People,
I got a question for you, Jared. Can you sublimate on hats at all?
For sure. Yes, you totally can. In fact, throw me that white trucker. Oh, the trucker. Yeah. I'll tell you what, if you have a white foam trucker hat, you could sublimate the heck out of these things. This foam right here is really great for sublimation. You're gonna wanna use a very light pressure. I just say medium light pressure. Usually I sublimate at around 365 degrees for 60 seconds. Now you may find the need to try a different setting, whatever works for you and your artwork. But white foam trucker hats are great for sublimation. And of course, if you have other hats that are white or very light colored and they're polyester or poly-rich, go for it. Sublimate those puppies. You could definitely sublimate hats as long as you have a heat press and of course a sublimation printer. Cool.
All right, Jared, what type of foam is on the hat press? Is that like a special foam or?
Yes, so this is Vapor Apparel. This is from the Vapor Apparel Foam Decorating Kit. So we actually sell this in a big roll. And I love it because you can just cut it to size. You can cut it as necessary. If you accidentally mess it up or flatten it out, like how we kind of flattened out part of this section, you just toss it and you get another piece. Another cool thing about this foam is that when you're pressing structured caps, you can actually cut up the foam, pad your lower platen. And actually, do we have a pair of scissors over there? Yeah, let's show that off right now. Hand me that black structured cap. And then let's come over. This will be our last demo for the day. I know you guys want to get to the giveaway. Don't worry. At the end of this broadcast, we're going to be doing a giveaway. And then actually, I kind of forgot, but it's right here. If you want 10% off of an HPN brand heat press, that's going to be Black Series and Signature Series, you could use the code HATS, H-A-T-S, for 10% off. This press right here, you're gonna get $75 off of this press with that code. But if those of you guys who watch weekly, you know, this code is only valid while we're live. So as soon as this episode is over in about 5-10 minutes or so, that code goes kaput. So again, you could use this code. It's right here on the top right corner of your screen. The code is HATS, H-A-T-S. Head over to heatpressnation.com and you can get 10% off of the HPN brand hats. That's going to be the Black Series and Signature Series, including this pup right here. But let me show you how we use heat foam for structured caps. Now, I'm actually going to ruin this hat right now. We have a backup, right? Yes, yeah, we do.
We have 2 backups.
Perfect. So here's what I say when I'm going to ruin it. Now, sometimes you may come into a case where you're pressing a structured cap. Structured means that the crown, which is this forehead portion, structured means that it's kind of firm. You know, it has like a kind of like firm, rigid material. It's not soft. Unstructured is going to be like this hat. So you see, unstructured, there's no structure to it. It's just soft. It's just soft material all around. Doesn't matter. It's soft. Versus, again, structured, I can't crumple it. It's hard. It's firm. If you have a hat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So now sometimes the problem with a structured hat is that the curve of the hat does not match the curve of your cap press. Now, we have a Stahl's cap press. It's like $1,000, and they have these like a bunch of these $100 little platens for it, right? You could have all of them, and you still may run into a hat that just the curve of the hat does not match the curve of the cap press. I don't know if you can see it here, but like when I put this down, when the cap touches out here, there's a gap right here. So what happens if we try to press that? Okay, well, let me show you. If you try to press it, you see how this is going in? Well, if I try to press the hat with that gap right here, it's gonna leave a permanent crease and it's gonna look very ugly. So I'm gonna do this and we're gonna see this crease Actually, you know what's funny? This one didn't come out that bad. It's kind of hard to see it on camera, but usually if the cap is too curved or if the difference between the curve and the hat is just way too much, right here, right next to the seam, you're gonna get these pinches, these pinched creases, and it's gonna ruin your hat. See, like I'm kind of exaggerating it right here just to show you. But those of you guys who have pressed hats like this, you know exactly what I mean. You get these pinches, these pinch creases right near the center seam. And so what do we do for that? Well, let me tell you. That's when you get your heat foam. And again, I'm glad it's not very expensive because I'm gonna cut this puppy up. Now, I'll usually start by just putting a little bit on the center here. This is where it's gonna take a little bit of trial and error, all right? Don't get cheap with your heat tape either, by the way. So usually it's the center part that doesn't quite fit. So we're gonna tape a little foam there. I just burnt myself. And we're gonna put this on and we're gonna try it again. We're gonna clamp the hat down. And you see, there's not really, it's there a little bit, but now I feel there's not as much give on that. So now I think I am gonna have to loosen my pressure a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna loosen my pressure just a little bit, which is right there. Because you know, as we add the foam, we're adding thickness. Perfect, okay. So now I'm pretty confident in this. So let me go ahead and, oh, let's do this. It's a baseball hat, so I'm gonna up my time to 12 seconds. And now I'm gonna do this super color, really cool super color transfer on the hat. And so this is why I think every hat press owner should have some heat foam, especially if you even think you're gonna be offering these structured hats. Now, this one's actually kind of tall. I think it's gonna fit on here. Let's see. This baseball is sticking just a little off the edge. So warning, for this, I might use a smaller transfer, but let's go ahead and press it. There we go. Got nice pressure on there. Got 12 seconds on the clock. And I'm gonna try to peel this quick because remember, super color is a hot peel. Alrighty, and oh, yes, Cerritos. You guys don't know what that is, unless you live in like Southern California. Look at that, so that actually came out really nice. I'm not getting that pinch. So now I'm just gonna do my standard repress for all super color transfers. Right? Really wanna just seal the edges of that super color transfer. And because I padded the base, I'm gonna pull this off right now. You're gonna see with your own eyes. I'm not gonna get those ugly little pinch creases on the center line. Look at that, look at that.
Hey, Jared.
Yes, sir.
Can you print on a curved bill on that press?
Yes, you could. Let's do it. Now, for this, I would recommend using a curved bill. And I'm probably gonna have to cut this off. There we go. Now this is gonna curve your bill to, it's gonna curve your bill. So if you're using like a flat hat, like it's, I wouldn't recommend it for flat bill caps. But what else do we got? What else can we put on there? Let's put something like customizing culture. Here we go. Or super color. Oh, let's do this. There we go. I think this will work. Now we're testing this. Oh no, it's too big. It's too big.
Okay.
No, but it's black on black. It's customizing culture. See, so we weren't prepared for this, so I'm trying to find a transfer that's gonna fit on here. There we go. And I'm just putting it on the center. Obviously, you guys could do whatever you want. So you see here, and this is what we mean. If it fits, it'll press. So I'm gonna put this down right here. I'm actually gonna tape it in place. Obviously, like I probably wouldn't do this. I wouldn't put a bill graphic so large on here, but this is what we got right now. So we're just doing this to answer the question, can you press the bill? I know you can, but now here's where things get a little interesting is that gonna fit? Yes, okay. So now I do have to hold this in place with one hand, so I'm gonna be very careful. A few things you do want to consider though is the material of the hat. For situations like this, if you're using something that's really heat sensitive, like wool or acrylic, that's gonna be kind of tough. You know, you may find more issues with that, like heat marks, and look at that. And that's not going nowhere. That's beautiful right there. Dude, this is great. So yeah, now, I don't know if anyone's actually asking, but if you're curious about this, the bottom of the hat, it will have to sit flat, and this, just stick that in the edge of your regular cap press, because now if I put it here, it's gonna bend backwards the other way, and it's gonna be ugly. So, dude, Chris, what do you think about this? Check that out.
Oh yeah, basically the same as when you put it on the top part.
The top, yeah. Check that out.
Very nice.
Very, very cool.
And it isn't bothered or like distorted because of the seams either.
No, that's because that's vinyl right there.
Okay.
So the vinyl is definitely going to be a little bit more. Well, no, I mean, that's interesting. I wish we could have done the Supercolor headwear on the bill. I'm sure it would work. I'm just like kind of thinking out loud here. But yeah, the vinyl, I mean, I love Caesar Easy Weed.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'll use Easy Weed all day, every day on whatever. So yeah, that looks great. That looks super cool. I'm actually really stoked. I'm glad we got that question because honestly, we weren't prepared to press anything onto the bill today, but hey, you ask it, so we're gonna show it off. All right, one more time. I do want to remind you guys that if you want to sign up for text notifications, and you might be asking, why would I even do that? Let me tell you, we have cool sales running, special discounts, special promos, special events, special online offerings, and the only way, or not saying the only way, but if you want to be the first to know, sign up for text notifications. You're going to want to text the word HEAT. That's HEAT to 31592. Once again, that's HEAT, HEAT to 31592. If you're watching us on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have fresh content coming out all the time. And that way you can see us every week. We're here live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We got giveaways, which is coming up right now. And then we have discount codes. By the way, this flash discount code right here, you see it. You're gonna take 10% off of all HPN hat presses with the code HATS. That's HATS. If you did want this really dope heat press, the Signature Series Auto Open Cap Press, that's at 10%, that's $75 off. And it ships free to the lower 48 states. So that is a stupid good deal. All right, we're gonna get to the giveaway right now, but before we do you guys got any questions? Anything else we can answer for the people? How you feeling over there, Chris?
I'm feeling good. I think it was great that you brought up that pressing on the bill because not a lot of people have thought about doing this on the top, but they say that it's very popular to press on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess if you have, someone was asking earlier about having a cap and label press. I guess if you have the flat label attachment, that is pretty cool for pressing the bottom of the bill.
All right.
All right. How are we on questions, shout outs? Do we want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Shout out to Creative Expressions saying, nice tee you're wearing today, Jared.
Thank you, thank you. A shameless plug. Shameless plug. Thank you.
Gwendolyn is asking, how much is the press?
That's a great question. So this press that we use today, this one is regular price, $749.95. But if you place your order before the end of the broadcast, you're gonna get 10% off using the code HATS. That's HATS. So if I were you, I would just skip this next part. Go straight over there. Go add this to your cart, check out, because you're gonna get 10% off. It's gonna ship for free to the lower 48 states. So at 10% off, that's gonna bring your pre-tax price to around $675. My math serves me right. No, because it's $750. Yeah, somewhere around there. All right, don't trust my head math, guys. Go pull out your own calculators, okay? All right, who's ready for a giveaway? Me.
I am.
Oh, there we go, Chris too. Chris is ready for a giveaway. I'm ready for a giveaway. So let me show you how we do it. It's very, Very simple. On your screen in just a moment, there will appear a hashtag, okay? In just a moment, you're gonna see on screen a special hashtag. Make sure you comment that hashtag whether you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. Now, we did upgrade our special magical bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop to gathering all of the comments. And today we're doing something really cool. So today, we're gonna pick 10 winners, and each winner is gonna get a Supercolor Headwear sample pack. So all you gotta do right now is comment the hashtag that's gonna be on screen. Use the #, the hashtag, and please make sure you spell it right. Our computer does not account for misspelling. So all right, computer, you ready?
Drum roll,
Bleep, bloop,
please.
bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. Yes, computer is ready. All right, let's show them the hashtag. There we go. The hashtag is SuperHat. So go ahead and comment, whether you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and comment hashtag SuperHat, and that is spelled SUPAHAT. Comment SuperHat, and then we're gonna randomly select 10 words. So let's give everybody a few seconds here. We're gonna give you guys a minute to comment. All right, so they have a minute. Chris, what do you think? What should we do for a minute? Should we make fun of people? That's rude, huh?
That's kind of mean, Jared.
Should we make fun of my clothes?
I like it.
Oh,
You look great. I like
Oh,
that hat
thank
too.
you.
Who made that for you?
oh, my buddy Chris made this for me. Super dope, huh?
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Very cool. We got like 30 more seconds. All right, guys. And again, go ahead and comment. We're giving everybody time to comment right now. Comment hashtag SuperHat, and we're gonna pick 10 winners. And you guys are all the 10 winners are gonna receive a Supercolor sample. Actually, Chris, let's show them the samples actually.
All
So
right.
you guys are in the sample pack. I believe you're gonna get some Heat Press Nation. So, if you're gonna test them out. And then there's some really cool kind of I think they're like baseball themed, but all these transfers really show off the color options that you have with Supercolor, especially that kind of rainbowy one, the color gradients. Now, color gradient, that's not something you can do with vinyl. No matter how hard you try, color gradients are tough. Color gradients, honestly, are even tough with screen print. So no, they're not gonna get the vinyl, they're gonna get Supercolor.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think we use the other ones, but yeah, you're gonna get a handful of different samples from Supercolor. And all right, that is a minute. Okay, you guys. So computer is gonna do a little bleep bloop bleeper right now. Entries are closed. Thank you to everybody who entered. And we're just gonna display them on screen. All right, call them out, Chris. Or can you read that far? Is that just tiny letters?
Yeah, Grisel Perez.
Grisel Perez, you're winner number 1. Computer is doing its bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. We got.
Ash
Ash
X and Eli X for life.
Aw, I hope they stay together for life.
I do hope so as well.
Well, you guys got some Supercolor hat packs. All right, that's winner number 2. Let's see. Okay, I'm doing drum rolls now. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop.
Kristen Seaton.
Yeah, your eyes are way better than mine, even with
I was
glasses.
waiting for you to read it. So.
There we go. All right, Kristen Seaton. All right, the computer is bleep, bloop, bleep, blooping as we speak. It's doing its computer thing. That's winner number 3.
That was 3.
That's 3. Okay, 4 is coming up right now. You're gonna see it on your screen. Sadie G. I think that's pronounced. Would that be Sadie or Sadie?
I think it's Sadie.
Sadie, right? Yeah. Sadie, you're winner number 4. Yeah. All right. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bleep, bloop. That's how I imagine computers sound.
Yeah, me too.
In my heart, they all say,
That's all you, man.
I don't know how to. Ealowin? Sorry, dude.
E.A. Lewin.
You see your name on screen. You're winner number 5. Yeah. Bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop. Dude, how do computers sound in your mind? Beep. Oh, they're a lot slower. Okay.
That's it.
There's just one beat, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Winner number 6 coming up. Creative Expressions and Gifts LLC. Yeah, there we go. All right. We got, let me put on this customizing culture hat. Wait, which one did you want? Oh, no, you want this one. You want the good one.
Yeah, let's see that.
Okay, we got another winner yet? No, not yet. Let's see. Elsa Vallejo, Super Hat. There we go. That's winner number 6 or 7?
7.
7. Yeah, we got 3 more. All right, let me put on my customizing culture hat. Oh, this one might be a little too small for my fat
Want
head.
to trade?
Well, it's the same size.
Oh yeah, right.
Same size.
You extend.
I don't know. All right, we got, let's see, we got computers bleep, bloop, bleep, blooping. Brian Lockton, hashtag
Yay.
Super Hat. There we go, winner number 8. We got 2 more winners coming up. We appreciate your patience, guys. I'm gonna tell all of you winners how to claim your prize right now. But before I do, Rise Above Stroke. There we go, winner number 9. All right. And we have one more.
The last one.
The last one.
Rambo, Buhan.
There we go. Yeah. Oh, all right.
Rambo.
So all 10 of you winners, do me a favor. Get an email together. Shoot an email over to winner@heatpressnation.com. That's winner, WINNER, at heatpressnation.com. Do us a favor. Email us right away so we can get you your prize pack to you as soon as possible. To everybody who didn't win today, don't worry. You're not losers. You're just future winners, and you could be a winner as soon as next week. We're going to be back next Tuesday, same time, same place. Chris, do we got any goodbyes to anybody you want to say? Any last minute shout outs to the people?
Goodbye to Julius. Goodbye to Cool Finds. Goodbye to TJ's Decals. Goodbye to Alicia. Goodbye to Amanda. And Creative Expressions, congrats and goodbye.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for me and Chris here at Heat Press Nation. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. That is a small hat.
Yeah, what's that one?
Oh no.